As we know, the United States was famous with slaves, but it was not the first. Ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, Greece, and Rome all had systems of slavery. In particular, ancient Mesopotamia around 3500 before Christ is often cited as one of the earliest known societies with a well-documented institution of slavery. The majority of black slaves brought to the United States during the transatlantic slave trade come from the West and Central Africa. The specific regions and ethnic groups varied, but the West African coast was a major source of enslaved individuals for the American colonies and later the United States. Some of the key regions that supplied slaves included Senegambia. This region includes parts of present-day Senegal and Gambia. Various ethnic groups from this area such as the Wolof, Mandinka, and Fula were among those captured and enslaved. Guinea Coast. This area includes parts of present-day Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Ivory Coast. Ethnic groups like the Mende and Sbai were affected by the slave trade. Gold Coast. Present-day Ghana was a significant source of enslaved individuals. The Akan, Ga, and Fanti people were among those impacted. The Bight of Benin. This region covers parts of present-day Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. Ethnic groups like the Yoruba, Edo, and Fon were affected by the slave trade. Bight of Biafra. This region includes parts of present-day Nigeria, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea. Igbo and Ibibio peoples were among those captured and enslaved. Central Africa. While the transatlantic slave trade from Central Africa was not as extensive as from West Africa, some individuals from regions like the Congo and Angola were also enslaved and transported to America. Slaves in the United States were primarily engaged in labor-intensive tasks, such as cultivating crops and cotton on plantations, or working in domestic roles. In addition to agricultural work, some slaves also contributed to skilled trades in urban areas. The economic system of slavery relied on their forced labor across various sectors, profoundly impacting the southern states' economic development. During the era of slavery in the United States, acts of rebellion and resistance were pivotal in the ongoing struggle for freedom and rights. The following events represent key moments when black individuals resisted the oppressive conditions of slavery in specific locations. Gabriel Prosser's Rebellion, 1800, in Virginia. Donnemoc Versailles Plot, 1822, South Carolina. Nat Turner's Rebellion, 1831, Virginia. Frederick Douglass and abolitionist activism nationwide. Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, various states. These events heightened awareness of the injustice of slavery, fueling the abolitionist movements and contributing to the eventual end of slavery with the passage of the 13th Amendment in 1865. After that date, black people suffered from a lot of things, so still till now. The current situation of black people in the United States is marked by persistent systemic challenges, including racial disparities in education, employment, and criminal justice. Social justice movements like Black Lives Matter have gained prominence, advocating for an end to racial injustice and police brutality. Efforts to address economic disparities and increase political representation for black communities are ongoing. While there have been strides in raising awareness and fostering dialogue about racial inequality, it remains a complex and evolving issue necessitating ongoing attention and action. And if you've been curious why I didn't show any picture of a slave suffering, here you are. I chose to not include any violent picture because I'm trying to soften the tense of this topic as much as I can. To sum up, black people got their freedom after all, after fighting for it for a long time. But were they free before? Are we free? Am I free? Maybe we just changed the concept of slavery to feel okay with it. I think we are not free and we will never be. Some are slave to their desires. Some are slave to an old life. Some are stuck to an old love. Even if we could fight for a complete freedom, we will kill every close one to our hearts. And if this happened, aren't we slaves to freedom? Slaves to the image we created of our freedom?